Thank you so much, O'Shea, and to the hosts today. It's really an honor to be able to speak with all of you today, to welcome you to York University and to share some of the things that we're really passionate about here that we hope you're also passionate about. It would be great to share some of these special places moving forward. What we'd like to do is I'll start by setting a bit of a tone and show you a very, very short video that's put some moving pictures to the amenities that we have on campus and some of the programs and services at a very, very high level. And then the three of us will walk you through some of those amenities, programs, and services in more detail. And then I'm hopeful that that can be a little bit thought-provoking. I'm sure we won't be able to answer all of the questions in the presentation, so afterwards there'll be some time to go through that. Now, it's a very, very big department, and we'll do our best to represent all areas. Some areas are our specialties. Some areas we may only go into a little bit of detail with, but I do think that if not today, we'll be able to follow up with the answers that we can't provide to you right away. So without further ado, I would like to share a video that's a little bit dated, pre-pandemic, but still speaks to a lot of what we have in pretty good detail, I think. And bear with me while I try and get that screen up for you. This should work for you here.
Welcome to Tate McKenzie, the hub of York athletics and recreation. My name's Micah. Let me show you around. Whether you're interested in joining one of our varsity teams, intramural leagues, or just getting a good workout, there's something for everyone here, and our helpful client services team will get you started. Tate McKenzie Gym focuses on our world-class personal trainers and fitness instructors, with one of the largest student-based staff in North America. We offer daily programming to meet the fitness, social, and wellness needs of our student body, which includes drop-in classes, yoga, Zumba, and martial arts that are inclusive and accessible, such as women's only. We offer the largest internship-based personal trainer certification program in Canada. We provide access to the world-class York Lions Stadium, numerous sports playing fields, skating rinks, the Aviva Centre, and outdoor tennis courts, the Toronto Track and Field Centre, gymnasiums, and studios for fitness classes, a martial arts studio, squash courts, and a 25-meter swimming pool. Membership to Tate McKenzie comes with your tuition. To learn more about how you can access the fitness center and other great amenities at York, visit yorkulions.ca. Hope to see you back soon.
One thing I like about watching that is we can get caught up in the day-to-day and always trying to make things just a little bit better for everyone. But it's nice to kind of reflect, and that was presented pretty well. We can feel a little bit proud about what we're offering and how much the students thus far have enjoyed the amenities that we're providing. So I hope that was a little bit helpful. I'm just going to jump to a small version of a PowerPoint presentation. Again, I had some difficulties and couldn't provide the larger version, but hopefully this still works just well enough. So I presume everybody can see that okay. And I'll just let you read through the vision. It is changing, but you'll find excellence and inclusivity and accessibility as pillars for us the whole way through. We do have a large focus on student staff leadership development that I'll be speaking to later as well. But I think what I'd like to do to start is introduce Joe. Joe is going to speak to our varsity program a little bit, and Quinn and I may jump in as well. Joe's going to speak to our intramurals and to our sports club. So what I'll do, Joe, you've got the floor, and I'll flick through the slides as best as I can to help you along here.
Sounds good. Thank you, Art. And thank you, everyone, for joining us today, and welcome to York University. So I'm just going to quickly take you through to our varsity programs and what we offer. So basically, varsity is a competitive way to stay involved with the school and also play sports competitively. And as Art goes, he'll show you the different sports that we offer within York University. So the sports that we offer for the men's team, there's basketball, cross country, football, hockey, ice hockey, soccer, tennis, track and field, volleyball, wrestling. And for the women's teams, it's basketball, cross country, field hockey, as well as, so field hockey is kind of like ball hockey, not on ice. ice hockey, rugby, soccer, tennis, track and field, volleyball, and wrestling. So these are more of the competitive side. If you're into, if you want to pursue that in the future, it is demanding. There is quite a bit of, they practice a lot. They have, they travel on a weekly basis for the games. Practices are probably around 2 to 3 times a week, depending on the sport and depending on the season. So it's basically a competitive way to stay involved with sports if that's your passion or something you like to do on the side as well. But this is more of the demanding sports side, I would say. And yeah. Sorry, there's questions in the chat. Do we want to acknowledge the questions now, or do you want to as we go?
It's up to you all. You'd like to answer them as you go. We were going to leave time at the end of the session to answer all questions as well. I didn't want to interrupt the presentation.
Okay, so first question. York does have badminton as a sport. It's actually a sport club, and it's also competitively as well. That answers your question. Yep. And moving right along, how you can get involved with this is, you can virtually and in person, there's a way to get involved. They're offered all year round basis, depending on the sport, depending on the season. There's co-ed and gender identified leagues and tournaments in competitive, like I said, semi-competitive and recreational play, depending on your skill level. We try to, when you first come out to the practices or first come out to, we see your skill level, we'll put you, depending on what you want to do. Like if you're more of the recreation side, then we kind of cater to you as well. And yeah, moving right along there. Intramural sport. I would say intramural sport is also something, it's just below varsity. It's something that you could also stay involved with, and also something, there's different leagues that we have. We have basketball, cricket, there's European handball, there's flag football, there's futsal. Futsal is basically soccer in a gym. It's played with a smaller ball, and it tends to be a ball that doesn't bounce as well. So it's more catered to the gym space. There's ice hockey, there's 3-on-3 ice hockey, inner 2 basketball, inner 2 water polo, outdoor soccer, slow pitch, which is a form of baseball, ultimate frisbee, volleyball, esports, and there's a lot more. And I would say with these are more, there's leagues and tournaments. So for these, they keep track of your stats, they keep track of standings. At the end of the season, there's playoffs. So I would say it's not, it can be competitive, but it's just under what the varsity, the experience of the varsity, and also the demanding part of varsity. So next we have sport clubs. So sport clubs is just under intramurals. It's an organized way to get people to play different sports and get people together. For the sport clubs, there is a recreational side. There's a semi-competitive, a competitive, and an OUA competitive, which they travel for tournaments, exhibition games, certain events. We also have tryouts and tryouts. So it's basically once a week or once a month, depending on the sport, you can sign up for the tryouts and tryouts to come in and see if you like the sport, see if you want to be more in the recreational side, the semi-competitive, competitive, and the OUA competitive. It's a good way for you to kind of get a taste of the sport. And we offer them year round. Some sports can go through the season. Some sports like rugby can only go in certain seasons, but for the most part, they can go in full seasons. We have curling that go in certain seasons. So it depends on the sport. For the most part, they are, yes, year round. And I can also share in the chat the links for sport clubs, and I can share the links for the varsity teams for you to get more information as well. And yeah, I'm happy to answer any other questions that anyone has. Let's see the chat before I move on to Quinn. Yes, anyone can sign up for the sports. If you are a student, it's included. The membership is included in your tuition. I believe Art can confirm that, but I believe that's what it is. And depending on the sport or intramural, they might have a separate membership and a separate fee. I hope that answers your question, Charlene. What's the procedure to enroll in soccer club? Was your question, Devang, in terms of varsity or intramural sports? So I will just answer those two questions. If it's varsity, at the beginning of the season, there will be a tryout. You have to go to, one of the tryouts and kind of try out and see if you'll make the team, basically. If it's in intramural, there's no tryouts. There's no to sign up. You just basically organize, friends, or you can sign up and play with different team members. For the competitive swimming at York, I believe Quinn can answer that question.
Yes, so we do have a competitive swim team at York. It is one of our sports clubs, but they do compete at the OUA level, which is the same level of competition as the varsity teams. They're just some technicalities in terms of status, so they're a club and not a varsity team, but you are still able and eligible to compete at University Association swim meets throughout the session.
Perfect. OUA stands for Ontario University Athletics. How can I join the basketball team at a competitive level? Well, there's two different ways you can join at the competitive level. There's intramural competitive. You can join a team to play that way, and it's more of a recreational basic. But for varsity, and if you want to be more competitive, like I said with the soccer, prior to the season, there will be postings where you can try out for the team, and bear in mind that the tryouts are more competitive and more physically demanding. Can we learn how to play a sport, or should you already know before signing up? You can, if you're learning to play, I wouldn't recommend varsity to learning how to play a sport. I think if you're learning to play a sport, it's more sport clubs, and you can kind of do the tryouts, like I said, or you can join the intramural and play in the more recreational and more the, kind of the beginners and people just wanting to, be physically active, or are looking to be more social, or just want to be involved with the school. So we have to sign up for it like before coming to Canada or after we start the classes and all. Not sure what, sorry.
No, you can sign up when you get here. So once the session starts, check out our website, which we'll have posted a little bit later. And there'll be information on the different sports clubs and their tryout dates, as well as the intramural registration information. All of that stuff will come out, but it won't, it'll come out before September, but you can do it in September. You don't have to pre-register like you would for your school classes.
Perfect. And Art, do we want to move along, or do you want us to answer more of the questions, Art?
I'm going, hit the wrong.
Mervin, to answer your question, you could do more than one intramural or a sport club potentially. I don't believe that with the time commitments and constraints that you're necessarily able to do multiple varsity sports at the same time, because there is a minimum amount of practice time for each sport.
Yeah,
that would be limiting in that respect, but you could certainly.
Yeah, just to echo what Quinn said. If you're looking to do multiple varsity, it's with your school studies, it's very competitive. I don't see it being feasible, like Quinn said.
So I might recommend, there will be a lot of questions. I think this is amazing, but just to give Quinn a chance to get through some of what he's got there, let's take a pause in the questions and then revisit the questions again afterwards, if that's okay. So we'll and I apologize for some of my technical mishaps there, everybody. I did get booted once as well, probably deservedly so. Hopefully things are a bit smoother moving forward, but let's get Quinn back up there with that shared screen. Let's see if this works.
Yep. All right, perfect. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about.
Oh, Quinn, you're on mute.
How did that happen? Actually, I'm going to talk to you about aquatics and first aid. A little bit. Art, can you go one slide further? Perfect. So in terms of our aquatics side of things, we have a 25-meter 6-lane pool that is included in your recreation membership, which is included in your tuition. As of right now, you do have to register for that membership. So just the first time you come to the Tate McKenzie Center, just stop by our client services desk and they'll be able to help you up. I believe that it is eventually changing, so it'll be preloaded, but I don't know if that'll happen before you all get here. So that would be your first step. But once you come in, you'll be able to use the swimming pool at any of our open swim times. So we have some lane and leisure swim times, which are available at different points throughout the day that you can come in and enjoy the facility. So either swimming lengths for fitness or just enjoying some relaxing time in the pool. As well as we have gender specific swim times. So women's only lane and leisure swims, where it'll just be women identified in the pool and female staff, as well as the BU, which is our trans, non-binary, gender fluid, gender exploring, and two-spirited designated swim. So we'll just open the pool. So if you're, not as comfortable coming at other times and you want that time, it's a space designated for you. As well as we do offer York University student swim lessons, as well as adult swim lessons. They're both just learn to swim lessons. The York student one is designated strictly for York students, so you'd be with your peers in that class learning the basics of swimming. As well, on top of that, we have a first aid program that is open to our students, as well as our staff and faculty and the general community. So we've opened first aid courses in standard and emergency first aid. Standard first aid is the WSIB recognized first aid for workplaces first aid. So if you need first aid for work, that's the one you're looking for. So we do offer a couple of those throughout the school year, at least 1 or 2 a month for people, so that when you have a chance, you're able to do that. As well as if you're interested and you have a large group of people, we could offer a private first aid course through our First Aid Comes to You program, in which we'll kind of work together with you and your group and schedule a first aid instructor and some space for you to do that. And then finally, we do have aquatic leadership programming. So for those of you who have a swimming background, but maybe stopped prior to becoming lifeguards, if you're interested in becoming a lifeguard or swim instructor, perhaps as a part-time job while you're at school, we do hire a lot of student lifeguard and swim instructors from our York community. We can help set that up as well. So we do offer the certifications necessary to do all of those things to become lifeguards and swim instructors.
Great, thanks so much, Quinn. And if I may, just a little bit on some of Joe's pieces and maybe a bit of Quinn. I just wanted to share some experiences in case it's of any value for those who may not be able to get a sense on the energy that comes with some of this. I was a student here in 1991 for 6 years, and I was a varsity athlete for a cup of coffee with the football team. And if you ever get a chance, take advantage of the opportunity to go and support the athletes. There's only one thing that's kind of cooler than, as an athlete, hearing some support in the crowd, and that's being in those crowds as an audience member. Holy smokes, the atmosphere, I will never forget for the rest of my life. My first varsity game, hockey game, rowdy as all heck. The football games, rowdy as all heck. And there's just a camaraderie around it. There might have been, something special happened for me during those years. So if you get a chance, please take advantage of the opportunity. And with the intramurals piece too, that was a really big part of my life. I'll share this personal experience as well. There's a 50th birthday party and a reunion coming up that I'm hosting in a few weeks. And it's about this group of friends that was created here at York University 30 some years ago because of the intramural programs. You're surrounded by, good people doing things you enjoy, constant smiles, and there's a connection, a social connection that's established there. I didn't know I was lacking it, didn't know I was seeking it out, didn't know those things coming to university, but it happened, and holy smokes, what a magical experience. So I just, I recommend exposing yourself to those opportunities. Who knows what it could turn into? It certainly turned into some special things for me. And if I may, then we'll jump to the fitness and lifestyle components. I can speak to those pieces a little bit. And there's not too much more before we jump into the questions. So about this main recreation complex, Tate McKenzie, it is filled with amenities. You've seen a lot of them on the video, and you've seen and heard from Quinn and Joe on them. I'm biased. I'm very proud of the fitness center. It's quite massive. And we are changing over a lot of the equipment in the center on a regular basis to make sure it's with the times. And again, my bias showing through. If I may, in a proud moment, share that we're about to welcome in electricity generating cardiovascular equipment to replace all of the existing cardiovascular equipment. So the user's energy will be sent to the grid, and it'll power the fitness center and things like that. So it's quite a technological advancement to be able to do that, and we're leaders in that area. So if sustainability is something that's important to you, again, I think you'll be proud of what we're doing here. And we're turning over all of the strength training pieces as well. So the fitness center is one of our pride and joys. We've got another small fitness center downstairs that we use for women's only programming and accessibility programming and some transgender programming and some personal training. So that's a neat space that provides a more intimate atmosphere. We've got a cycle studio downstairs, a martial arts studio downstairs that you heard about, and then another nice Pilates and yoga meditation studio with a great atmosphere, as well as squash courts and a few other pieces that you've already heard about. The recreation membership that was alluded to before is included with your tuition. So you don't pay extra for the recreation membership. That includes your drop-in sports and swimming and stuff like that. You do need to pay a little extra for the fitness membership and all of the classes that come with that. So the fitness membership and all of these classes that I'm about to speak to come for what will be $25, I believe, for the entire year, not a month, $25 for the entire year. We'll cover the fitness center and all of our classes. And I just want to run through some of the group classes. We did a big change last year. So this is our first year, including all the classes with that $20 or $25 fee. In the past, you used to have to pay extra for these amazing classes. So it wasn't everybody that could attend. But we have a whole dance category: Afro dance, Bollywood. We've done some Zumbas. We've done some K-pop. We have Latin dance. We've got contemporary dance, hip hop, jazz, funk. So a strong portfolio of dance. And then we've got a couple of really super strong martial arts classes that keep selling out: Taekwondo, and we've just recently introduced Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Again, waiting lists are growing, so we're adding more classes for those. Our well-being slate, if I can use that term a little bit loosely, the yoga classes are extremely popular. I'm very biased again. I love what we're doing there from a spiritual, meditative, as well as a physical sense. So the yoga programs are very strong. We have quite a few different varieties. We have meditation by itself, just solely meditation, and that's been popular. And then I mentioned the Pilates. And then we've got traditional boot camps and a little more hardcore sweat activated pieces. The cycle classes are extremely popular. We've done a Zumba class in the water even. So we've got a pretty nice portfolio that I hope resonates with some of you. And if it doesn't, share with me the background that you have and what you'd like to see us offer, because that's why we're here, to provide what the students are after. In addition to that kind of fee covering group classes and fitness center. We also do a lot of seminars. Nutrition is a key focus for us. We have got our own nutritionists that we've hired. We'll do seminars, blogs, one-to-one counseling for a little bit of an extra fee. But we do include quite a bit that comes with the membership. So we're pretty proud to offer that. And it's not just, you know, vitamin E is found in seeds and you should have pumpkin seeds in your diet. We don't really, you know, keep it to just that. We get into, with the strengths of our staff, eating disorders that you may or may not know about, cultural cooking, in case that appeals to you. Food and sustainability. How do our food choices impact the planet? Again, if that's something that's so there's a few ways that we take some of our presentations that I think are quite valuable. We offer personal training, of course. It's student-led, so kind of student rates. The personal trainers don't get paid a big bag of money, but that's because we try and make it affordable for the students. So we do have personal training available in a few different facets. And on that personal training note, we offer a personal training certification program that Mika in the video referenced as well. It's world-class. It is quite special. So there's it's led by our staff, practical component, theoretical component, and you come out being able to be a personal trainer. And you know what? We hire personal trainers. So there's an opportunity there too. Before that beautiful segue that I set up about jobs, I'm going to back up a little bit and just talk about the outdoor experience program that's new this fall. We're creating it as we speak. So we're hoping to take people off campus. Maybe it's to go hiking in the backcountry. Maybe it's going horseback riding. Maybe it's going to an indigenous site to learn about the land and how the land is lived upon there. And maybe it's treetop trekking, something more adventurous. We've got quite a few different options lined up. And we're trying to, again, maintain a cultural component for those in Canada who haven't had a chance to experience this, or those international students coming who'd like to experience different parts of Canada outside of the university borders. So we're really excited to release that moving forward. We also have a Recreation Comes to You program in case you're at your colleges and would prefer that we bring some fitness classes to you, or maybe you want a fitness center right in your own studio. You wouldn't be the first college to ask for that, and maybe that's something that can happen. But we can bring things from Tate McKenzie to you as well. So let's get back to that really cool segue that I set up and then botched, and that is the job opportunities within our department. Gosh, I hire 100 people by myself every year, and I've got lots of people like me, lots of colleagues around, and we hire hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of students every year in just our department. So not only is it a chance to help get some money in your pockets, but we offer some pretty decent experiential learning. Maybe you're in health services and athletics and rec provides some opportunities for you. Maybe it's a marketing and promotions field. We have that. Maybe there's an HR component. We have some of those. The student staff development piece was a big part of why I took this job. I'm so proud of what our department, the energy our department puts towards that. For us, you are a human being first, and you're a student second, and you're an employee third. All are very important, but you're going to be treated like a human being, and you're going to be treated like a student. And as an employee, we're going to try and give you experiential opportunities throughout, so that you can apply them to whatever it is you go on to do, whether it's with us or elsewhere. So really proud of the job experience that we have that we're able to offer here. I think I'm just going to do a quick double check on one slide here. I think that's where I'd like to leave it. I know there's lots more we could talk about, and maybe that will come up in the questions. So maybe O'Shea and group, if I can leave it to you to facilitate the question and answer period. I think we're good. Thank you so much for the time to do this with you, everyone. Thank you so much.